Either one of them.
I'm gonna get out of the way. Because I don't want to be in the pictures. I just realized I was going to end up being in the pictures. Can you get by? Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the council meeting, it's just such an honor to feel the energy and positiveness in this room. I thought I was in the wrong place. And then I went downstairs and looked at the address, and we're in the right place. And I believe that tonight we celebrate history in the formation of the new unified city of Inglewood. And it's such an honor here today to have Dr. Kenneth Ulmer, the Bishop of Faithful Central Bible Church, here to swear in George Dotson and Alex Padilla. Councilman George Dotson and Councilman Alex Padilla. With the oath of office. And so, Dr. Ulmer, if you come forward, around that way. Dr. Bishop, if you want to use the microphone, they can come up to the podium next to you. There you go. Because we know your voice carries, but we want to hear it on TV. Right. And
you have been sovereignly chosen by God and officially chosen by the people to be among the leaders of this great city. Repeat after me, saying your name. I,
George Dotson,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and allegiance to the Constitution
and the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And I will take this obligation freely.
I will take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservation.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
That I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties upon which I am about to enter.
The duties of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You have been sovereignly chosen by God and officially chosen by the people of this great city to share in the leadership of all that God will do in this city. Repeat after me. I, and your name.
I, Alex Padilla,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend
the
Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that
I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Call to order the City Council meeting of July 9th. Could we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Your right hand over your heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam City Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
Any persons wishing to address the City Council on any item of today's agenda other than the hearings and public hearings may do so at this time. And we're going to pull some items. HE1, HE2.
Cool.
Item 4 on consent.
Excuse me,
and
Mayor. The HE1 and HE2 will be continued,
Or
not
will-
pulled.
Continued. Do you have a date?
For the public's information, HE1, HE2 are continued till next week. Item 4 and DR4 are pulled till next week.
Mayor, I'm sorry, but I heard you said 4, and what was the last one?
And DR4.
Thank you.
Please.
Mr. Mayor and City Council, my name is Hal Walker. I'm the board chairman of the African American Male Achievers Network, and we operate the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Science Center here in the city of Inglewood.
Mike, is there a microphone on? I believe so. Hold on 1 second. We'll start your time again. Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, there you go. You're just so tall. All right, start him over, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and the new City Council. We thank you so much for having us here tonight. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Hal Walker, the board chairman of the African American Male Achievers Network STEM International Science Discovery and Learning Center. We're here tonight. This is my wife, Dr. Betty Walker. We're here tonight, Mr. Mayor, to give you a special recognition. As you know, you were the opening ribbon cutting at our ceremony just a few weeks ago at the opening of this new science center, which, by the way, for all of us here tonight, is the only African American privately owned science center in the United States, here in the city of Inglewood. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to have my wife now give forth the award.
22 years ago, we started the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Center at La Brea and Coliseum, not far away, but in the city of Los Angeles. And at that time, Mayor Tom Bradley was our founding board member and supporter. And so now that we're located and own the building right here in Civic Center, Inglewood, we are proud to have had you at our 22nd Tom Bradley annual dinner and ribbon cutting to open the doors for the center. So it's a new community center that can be used for youth to be involved in science, technology, engineering, and math ages 5 through 18, get them in college, and get the country out of being 39th in the world in the area of science. And so tonight I wanted to present this to you from the president of the 2nd Supervisorial District, the president of the Supervisors Board, Mark Ridley Thomas. And it says, Mayor James T. Butts, Mayor of Inglewood, honoree at the A. Manning STEM International Science Center 22nd Annual Tom Bradley Dinner. In recognition of dedicated service to the affairs of the community and for the civic pride demonstrated by numerous contributions for the benefit of the city of Inglewood and the county of Los Angeles. Amen. Students and parents, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Please come forward, sir.
Mayor and City Council, Gil Matthew, District 4. Payment of the bills. But first, I'd like to welcome the two council persons. So, welcome and good luck. First, I'd like to speak in terms of payment of the bills. Mayor and City Council, do we have a written policy for payment of the bills? If not, why not? Next, on successor agency. Mr. Fields, well, he isn't here. But Mayor and council persons, here again, I'm concerned about the financial condition of this city. I've been here over 50 years. We are $1.1 billion in outstanding debt. There is something, residents, that's called a successor agency, and it needs to be addressed. We are in the 4th quarter of this year, and we have just completed the 3rd quarter, and we need a financial report. Now, many cities have already started their budget for 13-14. We have not uttered a single word. And in the past, we waited 2 weeks prior to October 1st to have a budget hearing. That, my friends, and I hope the two council people will agree, that's unacceptable. We need change. And I'm not here to frighten anybody about the financial condition of this city. The school district is in receivership for the last 6 months. This is the 3rd administrator, that's been appointed to try to correct what's happening in the school district. So goes the school district, so goes the city. We need a liaison from this city to join hands with the school board to try to correct what's happening before it happens here. And two council person, I'm proud of you. Very exciting election, but I hope they didn't sell you a ticket to the Titanic.
Okay.
Good evening, council members. My name is Diane Sombrano. There was quite a commotion out front, so I'm not really sure which items were pulled. So I'm going to assume the ones that I begin to speak about will still be on the agenda. First of all, let's start with SPH 1, which is the zoning code, and that's setting a public hearing. I am so excited that it's 7 o'clock at night. Because, you know, I looked back on those last 4 months, and we have totally canceled nighttime meetings, disenfranchising the people who actually work in this community. I would hope that it actually takes place at a 7 o'clock meeting. Additionally, I am a little bit concerned because it says remove planning fees from the municipal code. It does not say transfer. I would hope that we don't pull those fees out so someone can come in, do what they want to, and then magically not have to pay the fees, because we know how things have happened. I hope we don't repeat history. And of course, I'm so sorry that our dignitaries left, because DR2 is really significant to every member of this community. DR2 having to do with that lease purchase agreement for the benefit of Madison Square Gardens. 14 plus acres for roughly $7 million after 7 years with 3 5-year extensions. So approving this puts that in limbo for 15 plus 7 years. With rights, but no obligations on their part. No one has to take my word for it. I hope the two of you will be diligent and read. I find that totally unacceptable. I think that, unfortunately, the benefactor of that just left. He's the one who swore you in. And that distresses me a great deal, because I absolutely believe you'll do that which benefits him. I will hope that you prove me wrong. With regard to the Bayona wetland, or the Bayona Creek metals. You know, for so long, one of our members has sat on a serious council having to do with water, and we have not been told how devastating this state is in a predicament over water. Now, we can purchase the well, the property around the well. You never told us how much you gave the school district for that property that was purchased, where the water well on Yukon and 107/8 is. But you know what? We really need to let the people know of this community that water is a precious commodity, not just to raise taxes, not just to raise money for other things, but because water is a limited and finite thing that we all should carefully think about and protect.
Good evening, Council, and congratulations to the 2 new council persons that are sitting there. I too am, I don't know, couldn't hear which was pulled, which items that was pulled on the agenda. So I guess we just have to go by rote. One of the things that was on the earlier agenda, and I don't see it on this one, regarding the guy wanted to put another smoke shop in here. I don't see it on this agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
Yeah, it was pulled. It was on the other agenda. But that's what I wanted to know. But I too would like to know on that on the MSG on that forum deal. Who is Forum LLC? I'd like to know who owns that particular title. And I certainly would like for you guys to explain that to me.
Talking about warrant registers. Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texier. I'm a resident of Inglewood for 50 years. I'd like to object to the payment to Inglewood today because it is unethical for this council and this city clerk to funnel hundreds of thousands of dollars to a publisher, Willie Brown, because you know he will help you in your election campaigns by attacking your opponents with lies and hiding your own misconduct. I've told this council that Willie Brown wrote an article where he repeatedly lied to his readers. I bought food at a burger stand that Willie Brown himself said was a hangout for Judy Dunlap, right across the street from Dunlap's campaign headquarters, which was owned by a man who'd been friends with Dunlap for over 20 years, and who had a big Judy Dunlap sign in his front window, and more pictures of Dunlap on their walls than the president. Seeing all this, I assumed that the Alex Padilla flyers I saw on top of the trash can were there without the owner's permission, so I put them in the trash. But 3 seconds later, a campaign aide for Padilla took them right back out and put them back on the trash can, something Willie Brown, even though he had the video of the incident, never told the public. Willie Brown knew that printing a story about a mistake, me moving something 12 inches for 3 seconds, was ridiculous. So Brown deceived his readers about what happened to help those who were paying him money. He said I worked for Dunlap, lie. He said I stole the flyers, lie. He said I ran out of the place with the flyers, lie. He said I destroyed the flyers, lie. He said I threw the destroyed flyers away outside the building, lie. This council and this city clerk are funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars to someone who in the weeks and months to come will definitely be known for lying to tens of thousands of Inglewood's residents for money. The video of the last meeting proves, and everyone heard me say at least twice during my comments, quote, I'm offering $500 if Willie Brown can prove what he told his readers, that I ran out of the burger stand, took the flyers with me, and destroyed them outside the building, unquote. But Willie Brown, he knew he didn't have any video in any of that, because he was lying about all of that. So last week, Brown deceived the public again and tried to defraud me out of $500. Brown lied and told everyone here that I offered him money for the video of my throwing the flyers away, which the city's own video proves I never said. Then Brown waved some crumpled pieces of paper in the air and said he'd put the video on the website. Later, I'll describe how that video that I forced Willie Brown to put on his website proves that he lied to his readers and lied to everyone here. But this council and this city clerk needs to ask yourselves, can you afford to have someone who's going to be known as lying for money on your campaign team?
With that, we'll close public comment. We're going to have to take a recess for about 3 minutes because we're not certain that we're getting a television feed right now. So if we could just wait 3 minutes, we'll be in recess. Folks, can we come to order? We're about to go back on. Sergeant at Arms, could you let the people...
Before we start over, can you check real quick?
Thank you very much. We've fixed our technical difficulty, and we are back on the record. We close public comment. Item 1, CSA 2 and H1.
Warrant register, allow for a payment of the bills.
Move allow payment.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Yes.
Padilla.
Yes.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye.
That's okay. Can I just say one thing? You know, they said yes, right? But I was wanting to make sure I call their names right, you know, because I've been for so many years saying the opposite, so I feel I'm right with them.
Okay, all right. Why don't we do this?
Okay.
On the vote for a little while, why don't you start at 3, 4, and then go 1, 2?
Say that again.
Start with 3, 4, and then go 1, 2.
Okay, I could do that.
All right.
I could try.
For a minute.
All
right.
I might not be perfect at it, but I'll get it together.
All right. Okay, HE1 is continued to next week. HE2 is continued to next week.
And a consent calendar.
Consent calendar. Item 4 is continued, and so we're going to move. We're moving.
Items 2,
Is that
3, 5, 6 through 9.
Second.
I'd like to pull item 6, please.
Item 6.
All right. Madam City Clerk.
Council members, let's see. Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. Item 6.
Okay. Staff report recommending approval of a joint powers agreement for participation in the Los Angeles Interagency Metropolitan Apprehension Crime Task Force.
Move items 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
Brief staff report.
Mayor, I'll have Lieutenant Salcedo come in and, the Chief of Police come in and give a staff report on that.
Thank you. Welcome, Chief Ronrada.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Welcome, Councilman Dotson and Mr. Padilla, Councilman Padilla. Congratulations,
Thank you.
public. This is a staff report as it relates to a joint powers agreement for the Inglewood Police Department for participation in the Los Angeles Interagency Metropolitan Police Apprehension Crime Task Force, which we call LA Impact. This consists of roughly 6 to 8 teams throughout the county that work on high interest crime problems throughout various communities, and we have one officer assigned to this task force, and we get to use the efforts of other members of other departments, so they come in and assist us with crime issues, surveillance teams, and things of that nature. So we've been a member of this contingent for many, many years.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes, please. Chief, I just got a couple. One, does this task force help to bring down our residential burglars?
Yes, sir. We like to use this particular group to assist us with our overall strategy to work on the burglary suppression or the burglary problem, and they have been very helpful in that regard.
Okay, and one other. Can you give us an update on a medical marijuana dispensary on Van Ness and Arborvitae?
Yes, sir. Well, I must say the mayor, I know, has been a strong advocate for closure of these medicinal marijuana dispensaries since the inception of coming into office. This is something he and I discussed, and currently that dispensary is closed, and we've closed a number of those dispensaries throughout the city, and we're continuing to look at them and permanently close them.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. SPH 1.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider approving zoning code amendments which will remove planning fees from the Inglewood Municipal Code.
Set the public hearing for July 23rd at 7 p.m. SPH 2.
A staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider the delinquent refuge and sewer accounts for the direct property tax assessment. So,
Move 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
council members Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. SPH 3.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to receive the input of the report on water quality relative to public health goals.
Set the public hearing for July 30th, 2013 at 7 p.m. 01.
Staff report recommending adoption of an ordinance number 1302 approving zoning code amendments to establish farmer market regulations in the Civic Center.
Move motion to waive further reading.
Second. Madam City Clerk.
Council members Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Move 2.
Second. First, you have to vote to waive further reading.
Oh,
It's just
Aye.
who's adopting the,
I vote aye on the motion to move, and I move to adopt.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
council members Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. DR 1.
Is a draft fiscal year 2013-14 annual action plan.
Receive and file. DR2.
Staff report recommending approval of a lease agreement with MSG Form LLC for an off-site parking of certain city-owned properties in the area of Century Boulevard, Prairie Avenue, 102nd and 104th Street.
Move approval of the lease agreement. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR3.
Staff report, excuse me, staff report providing the progress of the residential sound installation program, completing the mayor and city council's goals of sound insulating 1,000 residential units in a 12-month period from March 2013 through March 2014.
Staff report. Welcome, Mr. Esparza.
Good afternoon, or good evening, Mr. Mayor and the new council members and the council members Morales and Franklin. David Esparza, Assistant City Manager, Chief Financial Officer. As the staff report before you indicates, we are very happy to report this is the first of a series of reports that we will be providing the council to mark the achievements of the residential sound insulation program in its efforts to sound insulate 1,000 residential units in the 12-month period. This report indicates that we have just completed the first 194 units, and so we have closed those out, and we'll be submitting the necessary paperwork to LAWA to certify the completion of those. On the in the report on page 2, you can see a breakdown of the composition of those units, and you'll notice that 39.2% of the 194, 76 units are single-family units, and again, there's 112 that were duplexes, or 57.7% of the total. And then multifamilies of 3 units or more comprised 3.1%, or 6 of the total. And again, these units were the ones that were in the pipeline earlier on, and so we've gotten these completed. And as this report also indicates, you'll be seeing the next batch of 123 units that we'll be completing here very shortly. Also, I want you to rest assured that the sound insulation program has started to focus, and with the new units that will be coming online later this year and the first part of next year, you'll see higher and higher totals of single-family units, consistent with the mayor and council's direction to the program earlier this year.
Right.
Any questions?
Just one.
Yes.
If we extrapolate our numbers, are we on track for the 12-month period to complete the 1,000?
Yes, we are.
All right. Thank you. We'll receive and file. Thank you. DR4 has been continued. We'll convene the Inglewood Housing Authority. Madam City Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
H2.
Minutes for the meeting held
Held February 26th.
Where is he? Oh, on the H2. Thank you, Mayor. Minutes held for the meeting on February 26, 2013 and March 5th, 2013.
Move approval. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Abstain.
Padilla.
Abstain.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Councilman, I'm sorry. Gosh, I'm nervous tonight. I've been doing this for 10 years, and you guys got me nervous. Mayor Buds.
Aye. H3.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st, 2012.
Receive and file. We'll adjourn the Inglewood Housing Authority, convene the Inglewood Public Financing Authority. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
F1.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st, 2013.
Receive and file. Adjourn the Public Financing Authority and back on the record with the Inglewood City Council.
Mayor, we do have the successor agency.
We sure do. We'll convene the City of Inglewood as a successor agency. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Sure. The minutes held for the meeting on February 26, 2013, and March 5th, 2013.
That's CSA 3.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Agency members, Dotson.
Abstain.
Padilla.
Abstain.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Butts.
Aye. CSA 4.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st, 2013.
Receive and file. Adjourn the successor agency and back in session with the council.
A quorum is present.
For those of you who might wonder, the council members abstain because they can't testify to the minutes because they weren't here.
Right.
CM1.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say on behalf of Artie Fields, City Manager, and myself, Michael Falco, Assistant City Manager, I'd like to welcome our Councilman for the 1st District, new Councilman George Dotson, and Councilman for the 2nd District, Alex Padilla. Welcome aboard. We are thoroughly glad to have you.
Thank you.
Now A1.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. There was a closed session held as to CS1. Closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9B1, claim of Kane, Balmer, and Berkman. Request a motion to authorize payment of billing.
So moved. Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye.
There was a closed session held as to CS2, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9B1, claim of Carl Warren and Company. Request a motion to authorize payment of billing.
So moved. Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin. Mayor Butts.
Aye.
CS3 was pulled. There was a closed session held as to CS4, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9B1, claim of Robert M. Braden. Request a motion to authorize payment of billing.
So moved. Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye.
There was a closed session held as to CS5, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection C, Time Warner Cable franchise fees. Request a motion to authorize settlement of dispute.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye.
There was a closed session held as to CSA1, closed session, confidential, attorney-client privilege, pending litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection A, Inglewood Redevelopment Agency versus INHS. Discussions were held, however, no final action was taken. And that concludes the reports out of closed session for this evening, Mr. Mayor, and there are no verbal reports. Thank you.
Thank you. CC1?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to congratulate the 2 new council members and look forward to working with you both. That's the end of my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. CT1?
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending March 31st, 2013.
Receive and file. CT2? Madam City Treasurer?
Thank you, Mayor. To give a brief report of the Treasurer's Report for March 31st, 2013, and I also, there were copies in each of your seats, and you can follow along with me. For the City of Inglewood, funds under management is $105,248,808. And of that $105 million, I'd just like to report out, if you look at the report, you'll see that $64.2 million of those funds are quite liquid, being in LAIF and primarily in money market and also in our checking account. And the interest earning for debt service for the bonds for the city was $31. And for the successor agency, the funds under management is $107,766,489. And the debt service for the bonds that was issued by the successor agency is $10,485. For the Housing Authority, $100,307. Public Finance Authority, $13,494,954. And again, the debt service for the bonds issued by the Public Finance Authority was $1,553. The total funds under management for all four is $226,610,558. And the interest earnings for the City of Inglewood is $37,240. And also would like to report, I did purchase some bonds on behalf of the city, $2 million a bond, Fannie Mae, and it's at 1.125. It's a 3 3/4 years non-call for 1 year, so I have 1 years of call protection where I will actually earn the 1.12 of interest. And also purchase at a discount another $2,545,537.50 of bonds. Also, these were Freddie Mac, and these have an interest of 1.55. These is a 5-year non-call for 3 months, so that that interest I will earn for just 3 months, and those bonds will be called away from me. They'll be bought back. And also would like to point out regarding the bills that have been paid for the city. For the month of June, the bills that was paid was $14,523,662.63. And the net payroll was $2,544,852.52. And the total for the month, thus for June, was $17,068,515.15. And the bills that have been paid since the beginning of our fiscal year has been $103,232,025.47. And that concludes my remarks and my report.
Thank you, Madam City Treasurer. Public comments. Any persons wishing to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered may do so at this time.
Yes, I'd like an extra minute if I could get it, which you never gave me before. My name is Alfonso Parker, Jr. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 1960-67. Also a conscious objector, which means that I was sent to Vietnam with no weapons training at all, which was a no-no. You can't be sent into a combat zone. My father was one in World War II. I'm blessed to be looking at you, and you're blessed to be looking at me. I have been fighting the VA for my benefits since '95. You wonder why your families have so much trouble. I went to Maxine Waters before we passed this massive health care traumatic situation, August 22nd, 2009 at the Southwest College. Huh? Oh, at the Southwest College here. She told me she would look in, when I explained my situation, she told me she would look into my paperwork, because she has, go straight to the horse's mouth, which she does, because she is vetted by the United States Air Force classified document process, which means she has a security clearance by the Air Force. Not only domestically, internationally, because she messes around in Africa, on the African continent, which is international. So she has a dual high-class security clearance. 2 weeks after that, I got a call that I was never in the military. I have my DD-214. She was under investigation for her ethics. This is not an ethical charge. When you review federal documents and they've been altered through the use of a 1789 privacy law, which is obsolete, and you view these documents, the first obligation you have when you have a clearance of any level above confidential. By the way, none of the stuff they're talking about is classified. Here's the form I got years ago because I've had one all my life until I quit working in 1990. They give it to you to get your clearance. There's nothing classified. About 28 questions. I don't know how many now. She didn't have an ethical problem. She has a problem of violating her security clearance, domestic and international. When you mess with federal documents, that is an act of terrorism and treason. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't do it. The Constitution doesn't do it. Obama has found out Snowden. You can't do it. national security is not a constitutional body. It's not mentioned. It's not known. It is a fireside chat room at the
Alfonso
Women
needs to
President
address the council.
Advisory.
Alfonso?
And that's why they can't touch him. International,
Alfonso?
international law trumps everything. And you haven't heard international, you haven't heard none of those people. Interpol and nothing to open their mouths, and they won't, because you don't violate international security. Trump said it comes. People have been doing things, and they got a special legal college, Lawrence College, training for proper
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texera, a resident of Inglewood for 50 years. I'm asking this council to end all financial ties with Inglewood Today and its publisher, Willie Brown, because it is unethical for Inglewood's officials to funnel hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars to Brown just because you know that Brown will help you with your elections by doing the dirty deeds you don't want to do while hiding your own misconduct. In a May 30th article, Willie Brown lied to his readers when he claimed that he had video showing me running out of a burger stand, taking some flyers with me, and destroying the flyers outside the burger stand. And of course, Webster's defines destruction as, quote, tearing to shreds or to put out of existence. So I offered Willie Brown $500 if Willie Brown could produce any video supporting those lies that he wrote after admitting that he had the video of the event. At the last meeting, Willie Brown insincerely questioned why I would offer to give him $500 for the video. Well, I offered that money because I knew Brown was lying. Those things never happened, so of course there couldn't be any video of those things happening. In fact, the owners of the burger stand let me have a copy of the video weeks ago. But I don't have a website to show that Brown was lying, so I knew that I had to talk about Brown bad enough to make his overblown ego force him to put the very video he was lying on his own website for me. They say if you get a crook enough rope, he'll hang himself. And when Willie Brown put that video on his website, he bought the rope, tied the knot, slipped it around his neck, and jumped off the gallows. Brown's May 30th article said that I ran out of the burger stand, taking the flyers with me, destroyed the flyers, and then threw them away outside the building. But go to his website. Look at the video. None of that is on the video. None of that. He had that same video when he wrote his story, which proves that as he was writing the story, he knew he was lying. When he published the story, he knew he was publishing lies. And after I challenged Willie Brown's story and exposed him as a liar, and he knew he didn't have video of any of that, you don't hear Willie Brown saying anything about me running or destroying or taking anything out of any place anymore, do you? And after my attorney sent Brown a letter, all of a sudden Brown changed his website and added allegedly to everything. Now, Brown even cut the first video on his website 2 seconds before Alex Padilla's campaign aide took the flyers back out of the can, undamaged, proving that Brown and Inglewood Today are trying to hide the facts from the public. Willie Brown is apparently a liar for hire. In writing such a blatantly false and malicious and libelous story about me, he's given me the evidence that I needed to expose this council's unethical and immoral little arrangement with him. This council and the city clerk are using Inglewood's taxpayer dollars to deceive those same taxpayers and deny them the facts they need to be informed voters.
Ethel Austin, clergy and activist, Inglewood. I want to address some problems that we have in this city since we got a new board here, see how fast you operate together. We have a problem with clubs. I remember passing the ordinance, the council, Morales, Franklin. You remember passing where no clubs, no liquor license was supposed to be brought in as you close out clubs? I know you remember that. Okay, we having a problem. A lot of people is complaining about the commissioners is opening all of these private clubs, social clubs. The bar owners are complaining because these people, I'm speaking to you as a council, the whole entire council, the people is complaining, the club owners. The club owners here in Inglewood pays taxes. These social clubs are getting away with murder. They're not paying any taxes. They're not following no code enforcers, no code violations. They violating codes. They run in the kitchen without license. So why are we putting up with this when this city is going under instead of up? We trying to bring the city up. It's tearing the city apart. It's tearing the taxpayers up. I think something should be done if the people is complaining. I mean, I get calls left and right about it. I go around, drink a bottle of water. They ain't even giving me water free, just to tell me the problems that they having. It's too much competition. You have these social clubs. Nobody know how they open it. You got one on Manchester over here by Simpsons. Did you know that? By a school. I wonder if they have license, liquor license. Did ABC, did Inglewood give these people license? What's going on? They cooking, selling food, operating. I didn't see no liquor license on the wall. It's supposed to be posted. So I'm gonna say this is something to do with the city. I would say the council. It's tied in to you all. I know we're not that desperate to grease palms. Not that desperate, because you're losing on the other end. Also, I want to ask another question about that. I just want to know one thing, and I wish someone answer. What does the farm in Kenneth Ulmer and Madison Square Garden, how are they connected, and where are the jobs that they were supposed to furnish to all of the black and brown contractors in the city? Everybody's raising saying about jobs. I'd like to get an answer.
Michael Benbow, First District. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate our two new council members here, George Dotson in First District and Alex Padilla in the Second District.
Thank you.
Had the pleasure of working with them both. They're community people. They're outstanding citizens in this community, and I'm very happy that they have taken the positions that they have, because I know that they've done groundwork here in this city. I had the pleasure of working with both of them many, many years. I know they know the ropes. They know what's going on in the city, and they'll bring a new light to our community and to our council. And then I'd like to say hello to our present council members and the mayor. We have a lot of work to do in the near future, and we need to prepare for it. We've got new developments coming to this city with the Madison Square Garden and Hollywood Park tomorrow. We're in a rush to get these things done, but we need to take care of them, and I'm hoping we're all prepared to move this city forward. We've been held up by many difficulties in the past, but it seems like we're all in the same boat today, and look like we're going to move this city forward as fast as we can. We need to bring the people to this city with our developments. We need to build our businesses so that we can take in the money from these people coming to enjoy themselves in the new city of Inglewood. I'm sure that we have all on the same boat and traveling in the same direction. Also, there are other problems in this city that we need to address and get started on these things. We have many departments, such as I see the street repairs going fine. I've seen streets that were just raggedy for a couple, 3 years, and I have been up here complaining about them. But I can be proud to say that these streets are being repaired. And if you've driven down these streets in the last couple of months, you can see the repair going in on the streets. So we'd like to recognize some of the things that are positive and going on in this city, and this is just some of it. Our water usage and the things that we're doing with our water and the water that we get from our water district, we need to make sure that we're using that as well as we can. We have many other things. I see my time is running out to address, but in the future I'll be addressing some of these things, and I'm behind you, and I wish that everybody else in the city take a new look at this city and start getting out and doing some work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bimbo.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. I'd like to make one thing abundantly clear, that I am committed to city and to do everything to move the city forward. And make this also clear. Mayor Butts, you inherited this, so that's no reflection on you. So I think that should be well understood. You inherited this monster. Now the question is, how do we deal with the monster? We have to do it together, okay? It's the only way. And it is a financial disaster. See, now first thing with a problem, you got to admit you have a problem. See, you always admit the problem. Next you do, what are the options? That way you thinking rational, because now you question, what is the solution? And you bring together collectively. We have a financial problem as well as other cities. And you inherited a mess, okay? And it took a long time, but it happened. That redevelopment agency is waste, fraud, and abuse to the max. And it has to be corrected. Governor Brown did the only thing he could do other than the state would have gone down the tubes. Now, what did you call that? It's unfunded mandates. That's what you're dealing with. Unfunded mandates, $1.1 billion. And the two council members, Mr. Esparza, are going to be your best friend. Mr. David Esparza, he just came here. He will tell you. And we don't need to televise this. We need the successor agency to have a meeting immediately, put the cards on the table. Here's what we can do. Now, this city has $20 million on the table to get us through this. It's called a Gann Amendment. You're going to pay dearly for it, but it will keep you from going in default. So you might consider that as Plan B. But you're going to need more revenue. And believe me, the state is not going to give it to you. Ask the county if they're going to give it to you. They got an unfunded mandate to release these prisoners with nowhere to put them, and they're going to pay for it. And, Mr. Butts, this redevelopment agency is moving forward. Now.
Your time, Mr. Matthew, I'm sorry.
Okay, sir, but please have a meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Butts, council, staff. Congratulations, Councilman Dotson and Padilla. This has been one of the ugliest campaigns that I've ever witnessed in my 50 years in living in Inglewood, California. But the people have spoken, and now we have to work. And Councilman Dotson, I've known you for as long as you've lived in Inglewood, and you know what the situation is, at least on 4th Avenue. I've always known you as a fair gentleman, and I've always appreciated that. Now we are going into another venture as neighbors, and I know that you'll work as hard as you can to help District 1 to do the things that the citizens of District 1 need, and you'll use your own judgments and no one else's concerning your position on the council. And same for you, Councilman Padilla, because Inglewood is in real bad shape, as you all know, and we're depending on you. The people have spoken, and we are depending on you. and the rest of the council and staff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, and staff. My name is Margaret Richards Bowers. I'm a friend of the city of Inglewood and a neighbor, and I'm here to congratulate both of the new council members, Mr. Dotson and Mr. Padilla. I know you to be men of integrity, and I know that you will work together with the rest of the council and the mayor to uplift our city and improve. And I say our city because I've really adopted you. So congratulations, and I wish you well. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Theola Gardner, District 1. I have lived in Inglewood for 52 years. I've experienced many things happening in Inglewood, but this election, the most dastardly thing happened to me that's unbelievable. I am in no way senile. You better believe it. I'll take a test with any of you up there. And I can recite poems that I learned when I was in 6th and 7th grade. And for it to come from a member of this council, oh, well, she's just a little old lady and she senile or forgetful. I welcomed George Dotson to the neighborhood when he moved to Inglewood. I did it in good faith. I was a constant contributor in my days of functioning differently. Of frying chicken, I was known for it. I enjoyed it. But there's more to Inglewood than 4th Avenue Block Club and picnics and Christmas tree lights. I never saw Mr. Dotson here at the council, the years that I have been here. He was absent. He was at the ICOP house, leading community there. He wasn't here. He should have been bringing the information from this council to the members in the community. You talk about nothing there. Christmas tree decoration party, and the Roy Harvey, not his, he did not initiate that program. Mr. Roy Harvey did. And I feel that it was so one of the lowest things that could ever happen to have me pointed out because of my hair and wearing it in a braid, and to send a con man after me, to ridicule me in public, and then to be told that it didn't happen. People just look on YouTube. I don't have to lie, I don't have to tell you, but lying did go on here. And you know something? All you have to do is look on YouTube. Body language tells what was said to me. George Dotson sent his hitman to mess me up.
Ms. Gardner.
And it'll never happen.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner.
It'll never happen.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner.
Lynette Lewis, the 4th District. Just to kind of piggyback on some of the things that people have said, we do hope that this new council is going to take into account that we do have a city, that we do need to have some other things going on in here. The problem that we need to look at what we bring as businesses into our city, because one of the things when I get something in the mail like this and tell me about the smoke shop in our cities that we do have here. The other thing is that they're selling wholesale cigarettes and whatever. I don't know if you have to have license and stuff to do that. $10, they will deliver the service to you. You know, something is wrong with this, and I don't even know what a hookah lounge is where you can go sit and smoke. These are some of the things that is happening in our community that we need to be able to get rid of it. I was glad to hear the chief said that they were closing down some of them, because we have on Crenshaw and Imperial, we have two, you know, right across the street from each other. And then, of course, right there in the village right there, there's another one, a new one that just opened up. And the kids that, when I go to pay my utility bills, there's a great hangout around those areas where the young people are hanging out at these places. And I do think that we need to look at what we bring into our city and to help to build it. And we don't need another smoke shop. We don't need another 99-cent store. We need to bring something in here that people will really help to build this city, since we say we want a world-class city. Okay, and we are not going to have a world-class city when you bring in junk. But I do hope and I pray that we do have this council, that they will be able to not be just playing yes men and what have you, to be able to get something done. And we would like to see at some point in time that you bring something to the banquet table other than the appetite, so that we are able to move our city forward. We need to move it forward. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Patricia. I've lived in Inglewood over 25 years. I live in District 2. I'm just here to welcome the new councilman in District 1, Alex Pavia in District 2, Mr. Mayor, City Clerk, and all council members, and the public, and Neighbors for Change. Looking forward to working with city government, moving the city forward. There's a lot of positive energy out here today. Just looking really forward to working with the new board. Welcome.
You.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council, staff. I am Ted Brass. I'm a 35-year business owner in the city of Inglewood. And I come to you this evening with some applause. First of all, I applaud the voters in District 2 and District 1 for stepping up and electing two fine council people with character, with commitment to the city of Inglewood. Secondly, I applaud the city of Inglewood, currently in process of doing some positive things. My good friend, Mr. Bimbo, shared the virtues of streets being repaired and those things. Thirdly, I applaud the city of Inglewood for the positive effort and the positive nature in which we are approaching business, approaching things today. I think city of Inglewood is at the peak and at a point of moving and doing many more great and wonderful things. The location, the property values are beginning to move up. So certainly I am proud of that as well. And certainly lastly but not least, I applaud the city of Inglewood for putting on the public hearing that will be coming up for permits and fees in the city. Fees haven't changed for some time. Some of our neighbors to the south have made concessions in reducing fees for permits to encourage and be a business-friendly city. And that's what I see the city of Inglewood doing by making those steps, bringing together some public and some private projects and working collectively. Once again, I am very positive. I hear some naysayers, but once again, I stand here with applause. I stand here ready to support. I'm a foot soldier, so I am behind you and supporting each and every one of you totally. And I ask not what the city will do for me, but what I can do for the city of Inglewood. I applaud you. Thank you.
Thank you.
City Council, how are you in the 2nd District? I want to welcome my new council person, Mr. Padilla. You know, I've heard a lot of interesting things tonight, and as I look around, I'm appalled that we don't have any qualified women in the city of Inglewood to represent us. I don't see any woman on the dais that's able to vote. You know, I'm 74, and I knew my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother who was a slave. I knew my grandmother. And those women raised us men. And we don't have any qualified women in the city of Inglewood to be a city council person. We must have the dumbest women in the world, or the most unqualified women in the world, because we can't get any women. Oh, it's the Old Boys Network, I forgot. Oh yeah, the boys tell you when you need an abortion, when you need this, when you need that, when you need the other. I'm so glad that none of you would vote for your mothers, or your sisters, or your aunts, or your sisters. You know, you wouldn't. Yeah, Mayor, I'm looking at you and you're looking at me. I disagree with you sometime and I agree with you sometime. But I hope that in the future we will get some qualified women to set up on that dais, to be the mayor of this city. You know, and if all we have are qualified men, why don't we have all the women to leave the city of Inglewood and go someplace where they can be represented so we could get a woman's point of view at some point. Thank you very much.
Well, I guess I'll be the woman with a point of view. And usually contrary to almost everybody, right? Isn't that what you call me, the naysayer? Uh-huh. Isn't that sweet how we call names right and left? But especially our council members who go out of their way to diminish the value of senior women. That's one of the things that you can go back and see on a regular basis. When Lillian Sombrano said, I did not sign that piece of paper, she was telling you she did not sign a piece of paper that was cut and paste so that y'all could avoid going home in the dark, I guess, because you're having the meetings during the day. Supposedly because seniors signed that, when you had several who said, no, I did not. But Mr. Franklin dismissed them because they're old ladies. And then, of course, Theola. And of course, we have someone else who calls me that ever incredibly gracious name. You know, beautiful, intelligent, talented, creative, and honest. Yes, that's how we treat women in the city of Inglewood, isn't it? But you know what? It was just a woman who brought up the concept of this Payless tobacco that delivers for $10. Really? Tobacco. Uh-huh. Have you cruised by that tobacco shop between the brand new Gosh Let's Celebrate Our Almost a Dollar store and the other just a little bit over a dollar store? It's got bongs in it. I guess that's okay because you don't want gin's liquor to sell cigarettes. So bongs, I guess, are cool, right? But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say, just because I thought it was cute, ask not what your city can do. Actually, I already did. It was 3% commission on those 4 homes. Yeah, 3% and possibly 6 if he represented the buyer. So he did get from the city. And that's kind of the common theme. But you know, someone else told me the other day that I was a little bit crazy because I thought Mr. Franklin was with the MTA, and they said, no, 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 no. Well, you know what? I happen to have the stationery here. Amazingly, on Friday, when we can't afford to have the lights on in this building, he is the chair. See the little symbol? MTA actually does have meetings here. So guess what? You can't say you're surprised about the 30-foot wall that's going to be happening over there at the overpass of the new train thing. And I was going through my wrapping paper box because I'm kind of weird. That's where I keep maps. The 1986 Inglewood Quadrangle Special Studies Zone maps. You know, the Inglewood Newport Fault is called that for a reason. Guess where it is? You guessed it. Right there where that 30-foot wall is. By the way, maybe someone should tell Daniel, what's his name, from Gardena, he probably should be going to the SCAG meeting since he's paid to. I'm going to be called names now.
Good, wonderful evening. I am just really excited about being here at the inaugural meeting of George Dotson and Alex Padilla. That the city was smart, that we did something that was absolutely in our best interest to elect you to. Congratulations. I am excited. This has been an amazing meeting. We are almost done. And it's what, 8:30? This is what I see that happened when you went into your private meeting. That you guys actually had conversation with each other. That you talked to each other like intelligent professionals, like adults. You may have had some disagreement about an issue, but you resolved it. And what you did was you talked to staff, got a lot of your questions answered before you got out here. So when you came out here, you conducted the business of the city with a lot of professionalism. I am proud today to sit here and watch how this meeting was conducted. I need to applaud you. And thank you so much. We won't be laughed at anymore as a result of the likes of some of the individuals that got up here today and spoke. I'm excited because we are on an incredible journey, a journey that I'm with my husband, who was up here earlier, who talked about what we can do for the city. I'm with him. I'm not asking you what you can do for me. I'm asking you what I can do for the city. We were privileged to be able to represent the city in the sale of 2 of 4 of the beautiful homes that you had as real estate professionals who have a long history of doing really, really good work in this city. We don't apologize for that because we deserve everything that we earn because we work really, really hard. My husband said he's been in this city for 35 years. I've been 15, doing business, doing a good business. So we really appreciate the city supporting us because we support the city. I am here today, and I'm not going away. We're here to support you, George Dotson, Alex Padilla, Mayor Butts, Eloy Morales, and Ralph Franklin. We are here to support you all. So whenever you need us, all you need to do is pick up the telephone. My number is all over the city on bus benches, so feel free to call me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Brass.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Congratulations, Councilman Dotson and Councilman Padilla. I'll be brief. I feel compelled to reference something that was mentioned earlier. I think we have 2 very well qualified females or women who serve on who anchor 2 very important aspects of our city government. We know how hard the city clerk has worked within the last year or 2 operating multiple elections, and our city treasurer who holds multiple degrees and multiple financial credentials. So So although you guys are non-voting members of the dais, we certainly appreciate the hard work that you guys do in anchoring those 2 important aspects of our city government. Thank you so much for your service. Congratulations again, gentlemen. Do a great job.
Thank you. I will close public comment. Council comments? I do.
Okay. Today's been a great meeting. You know, first, congratulations to my new colleagues, Alex and George, Councilman Padilla and Councilman Dotson. You know, the elections are tough, and it takes a bit of healing for the community, but I know both of them are good men, good family men, that are going to make sure that everybody jumps on board and we push this city forward. That's all that matters. We're all married up here, so whoever thinks that women don't take a role in the local government here, you know, are all wrong. You know, they play a big role. So that's a fact. Now, in regards to what we did today, today was a nice meeting. Today was a calm meeting, but let it be known, we will have our discussions. I've already seen part of how it's going to be working here with staff. Staff's part of our team, and I'm very proud to say that the way it looks is that the council members, the newest council members, understand that, and it's going to be helpful all the way. So for now, that'll be my comments, and thank you very much for coming out.
Okay. Councilman Franklin?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First of all, let me welcome our colleagues on board, District 1 and 2, Mr. George Dodson and Alex Padilla. You have your work cut out for you, and yes, we are men, and we do think for ourselves, for the benefit of our communities that we represent and for the city as a whole, and I know these two men will do likewise. I also want to acknowledge that people make comments without knowledge of what is the true fact, and I want to make sure it's clarified that in June of last year, Madison Square Gardens purchased the Forum from the Forum Enterprise. So any activity involving Fayetteville Central is not an issue since June of last year. Madison Square Gardens is moving forward specifically on development of the city, and contrary, we've had these discussions before about job opportunities, being paid prevailing wages. That information has been collected, and that information continues to be monitored by our city Public Works Department. Also, I want to reach out to the residents that live on Wilkie Avenue between 109th on the north to Ardith on the south. We've had terrible challenges with busted water mains. We've had one just recently this past Saturday, and I was out there over 4+ hours to make sure that Golden State Water and their contract service was there to do their due diligence and make sure we didn't get a Band-Aid effect, but a quality service for lasting of those pipes. So I reach out to the residents for their temporary inconvenience, and we are working also on looking at their street that also was damaged because of the water. I also want to acknowledge that, yes, once a month there is meetings here by the Metro Service Council to address public transit that goes through the South Bay, including Inglewood. We do not concentrate specifically on the Crenshaw LAX line, but rather it is the passageway, whether you take the Green Line, but primarily we deal with bus travel, whether it's the rapid or just the regular 40-foot buses. So I want you to be aware of that. And we do have public comment, and yes, I'm one of those that rides the bus to make sure that the public is treated properly and with decency, to make sure that the buses are there on time, that the buses are clean, etc. And finally, I take personal insult for someone to come up here repeatedly saying that Inglewood's in real bad shape. I want to tell you that if it wasn't for the council majority here, in this case, the mayor at the helm, we would have been, yes, like an Inglewood Unified School District. But no, we're far from that. In fact, we do have a balanced budget, and we continue to have businesses that are now knocking on our door saying we want to come in and engage and be part of our community. So we do have in the right direction. This council here is going to make sure that continues to happen. Thank you very much, Mayor, and thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, good evening. It's been a long walk, but I made it. I really want to thank the voters in the 1st District for putting their faith in me. I told them when I was elected that I would be their voice here on this council, and I mean to do that. I have been welcomed here by the mayor, the other council members, and the staff. I feel at home already. Just give me a little time. We're going to get it done. I'm going to work with the mayor, the rest of the council member. We're going to bring businesses in here that you'll be proud of. So you're getting ready to take a ride. So I think you need to buckle your seatbelts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well spoken. Well, I just want to thank the mayor and other council members and city staff for welcoming me here on the council last week when we started on Monday. Thank you very much for your patience, your understanding, and for your support. I also want to thank the residents in District 2 that were out there supporting us, that voted
2 times for positive change and new leadership in our district. I'm looking forward to working with our residents in District 2 and our business owners so that we can move our city forward and once again make Inglewood the city of champions. I'm here to work with each one of you. I'm committed to doing this, and I'm here anytime you need to talk with me. Give me a call. We'll get together. But thank you so very much for taking time out of your night to be here and help us celebrate our first council meeting. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Well, good evening. I want to tell you that I celebrate tonight, and I've celebrated this last week, that we had a change on the council, because it became fashionable to believe in the city, to believe in this concrete evidence that we've moved forward. It's unfortunate that we still have, you know, some of our regulars that just want to cling to what was. And it's no longer a relevant paradigm, although they choose to indulge it. The reality is this, that for 3 years we've had balanced budgets when I came in office and we were headed toward receivership. It's a fact that a $1 billion company has bought the Forum and made its only West Coast operation here in the city of Inglewood. It's a fact that that project's going to generate 350 jobs, of which about 100 have been filled so far, and more than half of those have gone to Inglewood residents. That's a fact. It's a fact that Hollywood Park tomorrow was going to go bankrupt. It was conceived and entitled in the midst of the recession and the housing market collapse, and they hung on. They believed in the city. They doubled down, and they borrowed another $140 million on top of the $250 million they put in to buy it, and they held on, and they believed. And now look at us now. They're scheduled to break ground in the spring of 2014. That's a $2 billion development when it's totally built out, meant to produce 19,000 local jobs. Since we have over 15% unemployment rate, that's important to our city, but those are facts. There's hope on the horizon. It is futile to cling to this illusion and hope that we will fail, because we have people, honestly, that seems what they live for, to hope, because you can predict failure all you want, and then if we fail, then good, you've been prescient. But what is that to live for? It's easy to hope for failure. Why would you want to do that when the evidence is in front of you that we're moving on a different course? You have your own reasons. I don't understand it. And I was totally insulted in the condescending manner when the gentleman talked about unqualified women. I mean, the reality is the voters voted for who they wanted to. They didn't have to vote for whoever. They voted for who they wanted. And when you have 2 exceptionally bright and qualified women that have been elected repeatedly in Yvonne Horton and Wanda Brown, how could you say something like that? Because, you know, you have your own agenda. But you know what? It's getting more and more transparent. I told you guys all along, the truth starts to leak out. It's just transparent. We're moving forward. Like it or not, we're going to be a success. I just am so proud of tonight, so proud of that this day has come when it's not unfashionable to have hope and to cooperate and work together. And that's what we have now in the city. And I want to thank all of you that came out tonight. And remember, the council chambers is not the province of the disenchanted and the unhappy and hopeless. It's your council chambers. So please continue to come out. I want to close the meeting in the name of my brother-in-law, Anthony Navarro Culpepper. He was an ordained minister known to many as Tony. He was born October 19, 1958 in Los Angeles, California, to Cora and the late Phil Culpepper. At the age of 4, he was blessed with a second father in his life when his mother met and married James Rawls, who Tony has always lovingly called his dad. He grew up in Inglewood, California. and was a proud graduate of Morningside High School. He excelled as an academic scholar and was an exceptional athlete, starring in football and track. He received numerous medals and trophies as an all-league running back and a record-setting track and field sprinter. Tony received full scholarship offers from the University of Southern California and Arizona Western College, ultimately choosing to attend Arizona. While at Arizona Western, he started at running back, leading his team to numerous victories. In 1981, he married his college sweetheart, Brenda McClendon, and to that union, one son was born, his namesake, Anthony Navarro Culpepper, Jr. Tony received his Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications at the University of Pacific in Stockton, California. He went on to a career as a computer programmer analyst for many years, and following his spiritual calling, he continued to manifest his devotion to Christ by attending Biola School of Theology. Upon completion of his studies at Biola, Tony was ordained as a minister under the leadership of Reverend Earl Pleasant at his home church, Greater New Bethel Baptist Church in Inglewood on 99th Street. Reverend Culpepper was actively involved in the various ministries of Greater New Bethel, particularly in the youth ministry. He proved himself to be a dedicated servant of God and the church. In 1996, he married Lisa Napoleon, and to that union they were blessed with the birth of two daughters, Michaela and Corinne. These girls and his son, Anthony Jr., would become the center of his life, and he was a devoted and loving father to them. Tony lives on in the memory of his friends and a special friend, Clara Hicks, who provided selfless care, attention, and love for him during the course of his illness. Tony and his home care nurse, Kathy Winteringham, shared a special and unique connection, and we all consider her a part of his family. His final testimony to the impact of the life he lived, Tony lives on in the hearts of innumerable family and friends, all of whose lives are better from being touched by Anthony Navarro Culpepper. Tony was 54, and he is the second sibling of my wife Judy to pass within the last 10 months at the age of 54 as well from cancer. It is very important that we support cancer research in this country. Stella Padilla is a survivor. My mother was a survivor. It's just important that we are aware that it takes too many people too soon. So I want to close the meeting in my brother's name, Anthony Navarro Culpepper. We adjourn.